dear children, welcome back. I'm Dr. Jisha Jo. It has been almost 2.5 months since I have uploaded any videos. Now I am planning to start with a new chapter from class 11 biology, breathing and exchange of gases. So before moving into the details of the chapter, we shall first have a look at the difference between breathing and respiration. What is actually breathing? Breathing is just a physical process, or we can say it is just a mechanical process of taking in of oxygen rich air and giving out carbon dioxide rich air. So breathing is just a physical process, or we can say it is a mechanical process in which oxygen rich air is taken into a body and carbon dioxide rich air is given out of the body. Now, what is respiration? Respiration is a biochemical process. It is a process taking place inside the cells, in the cells. So it is a biochemical process. It occurs through a series of chemical reactions, each of these reactions being catalyzed by specific enzymes. And what is actually respiration? It is the oxidation of the food to release energy. Respiration is the process, it is a cellular process by which the glucose present in the food is oxidized to release energy. This energy is utilized by the body cells to do the various activities of the body. So I hope the difference between respiration and breathing is clear to you. So breathing is just a physical process of intake of air, oxygen rich air, and release of carbon dioxide rich air, whereas respiration is the process by which glucose is oxidized to release energy. Now there are two types of respiration. They are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So as the name indicates, aerobic respiration means respiration taking place in presence of oxygen. So plenty of oxygen is available and complete oxidation of the food material, complete oxidation of glucose is taking place. The common respiratory substrate in organisms is glucose. So complete oxidation of glucose is taking place in aerobic respiration, and the end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide, water, and 38 molecules of ATP. So from one molecule of glucose, 38 molecules of ATP will be produced during aerobic respiration. Okay, so aerobic respiration occurs in presence of oxygen. Complete oxidation, complete breakdown of the respiratory substrate is taking place, ultimately resulting in the formation of carbon dioxide, water, and 38 ATP molecules. Whereas when we move on to anaerobic respiration, it is the breaking down of glucose in the absence of oxygen. So since oxygen is absent, or since oxygen is not available in sufficient quantity, incomplete oxidation or only partial breakdown of food is taking place. As a result, the end products may be ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. In the case of anaerobic respiration taking place in yeast, yeast cells undergo anaerobic respiration, and the product of anaerobic respiration in yeast cells is ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide with very little amount of energy, that is almost only 2 ATP molecules are produced. Whereas in the case of, for example, some aerobically respiring animals, for example in humans, we respire aerobically, but in certain cases, some cells of our body, for example, the skeletal muscles, okay, the skeletal muscles of our body undergo anaerobic respiration. That is, when doing heavy physical exercises, we feel cramps or we feel pain in our muscles, skeletal muscles. This is due to the accumulation of lactic acid, which is the product of anaerobic respiration taking place in the muscle cells of our body. So I hope you have understood the difference between breathing and respiration, and also the different types of respiration based on the presence or absence of oxygen. Now we shall move on to the organs for respiratory exchange. Now, what are respiratory organs? The organs that are concerned with gaseous exchange of gases, are known as respiratory organs. Organs that are concerned with the exchange of gases are called as respiratory organs. And the degree of specialization of the respiratory structures vary greatly among animals. As you can see, in the case of unicellular organisms like bacteria, amoeba, etc., gaseous exchange occur through the general body surface. Through the general body surface, exchange of gases take place in the case of unicellular organisms. Now, when we move on to the next higher level, like as in the case of sponges, coelentrates, example hydra or flatworms, which come under the phylum Platyhelminthes. In all these cases also, you can see that gaseous exchange occur through the general body surface, because all the cells of the body are equally exposed to the environment. So through the general body surface, by the process of simple diffusion. Diffusion is the process by which molecules move from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration. So by the process of simple diffusion through the general body surface, gaseous exchange occurs in the case of sponges, then coelentrates like hydra, and in the case of flatworms also, you can see exchange of gases occur through body surface, general body surface, by the process of simple diffusion. Okay, by simple diffusion, gaseous exchange takes place in the second case also. Now, when we move on to the next higher level, as in the case of some marine annelids, for example, Nereis, in such cases, we can see again gaseous exchange occur through the whole body surface. In Nereis, certain lateral appendages called parapodia are present, which help in locomotion. In addition to locomotion, these parapodia are richly supplied with network of capillaries, and exchange of gases can occur through the whole body surface in the case of marine annelids like Nereis. Okay, so next higher group, annelids, marine annelids. For example, Nereis, again through the whole body surface. Whole body surface, again gaseous exchange takes place. Now, when we move to the earthworms also come under the phylum Annelida. When we move on to the earthworms, leeches, etc., they have moist cuticle or a moist body surface through which gaseous exchange takes place. Okay, so here also the case of earthworms, leeches, etc., again through the general body surface. Through the body surface, they have moist body surface through which gaseous exchange takes place. Moist cuticle or the moist body surface helps in the exchange of gases in the case of earthworms and leeches. Now, when we move on to the arthropods, that is the phylum which includes all the insects, the largest phylum, Arthropoda, which includes all the insects. Insects, we know network of tubes which are called as the tracheal tubes are present. That is why when we dip an insect in water, the insect will not die, because the tubes, the openings of the tubes, when we dip the head of the insect into the water, the insect will not die, because throughout the sides of the body, the insects have tracheal tubes opening out. It is through these tubes gaseous exchange occur in the case of insects. So, network of tubes are present in the case of insects. Insects, exchange of gases occur through tracheal tubes. Tracheal tubes are present in the case of insects. Now, if we move on to aquatic arthropods, okay, aquatic arthropods and mollusks, we can see gills are present in them for the exchange of gases. Gills are present in aquatic arthropods and mollusks for gaseous exchange. Then when we move on to the fishes, fishes also have gills. Gills are present in fishes for the exchange of gases. Now, as we move on to the terrestrial forms, we can see in reptiles, birds and mammals, they have the lungs. Reptiles, birds and mammals have lungs. The respiratory organs are the lungs in all the terrestrial forms of animals. Now, if we take the case of amphibians, as in the case of frog, again lungs are present in frog. In addition to lungs, gaseous exchange occur through the moist skin also, as well as a mucous membrane is present in the buccal cavity, which helps in gaseous exchange in the case of frogs. Okay, so in the case of frogs, lungs as well as moist skin present for gaseous exchange. Also, a mucous membrane of the buccal cavity also helps in the exchange of gases in the case of frogs. Okay, so these are the organs of respiratory exchange in the various groups of animals. You can see the degree of specialization, how it varies or changes greatly as we move on to the higher forms of animals from the lower ones. As in the case of unicellular organisms like bacteria, amoeba, etc., gaseous exchange occur through the general body surface. Then in the case of sponges, hydra, flatworms, also body surface is the respiratory organ. It is through the general body surface, by the process of simple diffusion, exchange of gases take place. Marine annelids like Nereis, again you can see the entire body is involved in the process of gaseous exchange. Earthworms and leeches, the moist body surface is involved in the exchange of gases. In the case of insects, tracheal tubes are present which help in the exchange of gases. In aquatic arthropods and mollusks, gills are present. Then in fishes again we can see gills, which are the organs of respiration. When we move on to the reptiles, birds and mammals, they have the lungs for respiration. The respiratory organs are lungs. In all the terrestrial forms of animals, we can see lungs as the respiratory organs. Then frog, which is an amphibian, you can see lungs, as well as moist skin is present for gaseous exchange. Also, mucous membrane of the buccal cavity is also involved in the exchange of gases in the case of frog. I hope this session is clear to you. In this session, we have discussed the difference between breathing and respiration. We have discussed the different types of respiration, that is the aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and we have also seen the different respiratory organs in the different forms of animals. So I hope this session is clear to you. If you have any doubts, please ask your doubts and give your suggestions in the comment section. Thank you.